Russian Metrological Institute of Technical Physics and Radio Engineering, ВНИИФТРИ, was founded on February 18, 1955. ВНИИФТРИ is located in Moscow region, Solnechnogorsk district. The institute possesses unique scientific and technical facilities. It carries out fundamental and applied researches in a wide range of scientific fields. Time, frequency, and long-range measurements, as well as Earth orientation parameters determination. Time coordinate and navigational measurements of the Global Navigation Satellite System GNSS, including GLONASS. Geodetic and gravimetric measurements. Radio engineering and magnetic measurements. Measurements of the electromagnetic oscillation. Acoustic, underwater acoustic, and hydrophysical measurements. Physical and mechanical measurements. Physico-chemical measurements. Measurements in low temperature ranges. Measurements of characteristics of ionizing radiation fields and sources and radioactivity. Measurements in other fields of science. Nowadays, ВНИИФТРИ includes the following branches: the Kamchatka branch of ВНИИФТРИ in Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky city, the East Siberian branch of ВНИИФТРИ in Irkutsk, and the Far Eastern branch of ВНИИФТRI in Khabarovsk. Since 1994, ВНИИФТРИ has kept the status of the State Scientific Center of the Russian Federation, and it regularly confirms it. Currently, ВНИИФТRI employs a large number of highly qualified specialists in metrology, such as 40 doctors and more than 100 candidates of science, 7 distinguished metrologists, 9 honorable metrologists, 3 honored masters of science of the Russian Federation, 1 academician and 2 corresponding members of the Academy of Science, 18 corresponding members of the Russian Academy of Metrology, 3 state prize winners, and 6 governmental prize winners. ВНИИФТРI maintains the national timescale and meets the requirements of the state and other users in the standard time and frequency signals and accuracy of the Earth orientation parameters. The institute develops, improves, maintains, compares, and applies the state primary standards of units, participates in establishment and maintenance of the Federal Informational Foundation for assuring the uniformity of measurements. ВНИИФТРI is the head organization of the Federal Agency on Technical Regulating and Metrology (ROS) standard of the Russian Federation in developing new and updating the existing standard means of time coordinate and navigational assurance in order to achieve the prescribed accuracy characteristics of GLONASS. The institute participates in the activity of almost all international scientific organizations whose activities are related to metrology and measurements. ВНИИФТРI is a signatory of the International Committee on Weight and Measures of the Mutual Recognition Agreement (CIPM-MRA), continuously contributes to the International Atomic Time (TAI), and regularly participates in key comparisons, which confirm high measurement and calibration capabilities of the institute and the country in general. ВНИИФТRI offers its customers the following metrological services: verification and calibration of measuring instruments, type approval testing of measuring instruments and reference materials, research and development work in the applied metrology, development and certification of measuring procedures, metrological examination, delivery, development and manufacture of measuring instruments. The following departments operate on the basis of ВНИИФТRI. The Center of Testing and Certification of Measuring Instruments. It comprises Testing Laboratory for Electromagnetic Compatibility, Testing Laboratory for Technical Equipment Safety, Certification of Measuring Instruments, as well as medical and electric equipment, Testing Center for Medical Equipment, Testing Laboratory and Certification Center for Explosion-Proof Measurements and Automation Elements. The Center of Testing and Verification of Measuring Instruments of ВНИИФТРI performs methodological assistance in developing normative documents for confirmation of compliance. It examines technical documentation, organizes certification testing of products, and executes regulatory and voluntary safety certificates and other services. In order to carry out development and modernization of the state standards, Experimental and Production Technical Center operates in the institute. The objectives of the center focus on production of the developed components and standard elements, measuring instruments, related equipment, and radio-electronic equipment. In 2016, conditions and serial production of several types of modern measuring means and related products were created on the basis of the center. Here's a list of equipment produced by ВНИИФТРI. Acousto-optical devices for various purposes, used for the Earth's remote sensing. heat flux sensors, radiometric and dosimetric equipment for radiation control of the environment and food product, mining and industrial raw materials, hydrophones and acceptance measuring systems, marine and stationary on their bases, hydrophysical and seismic equipment, standard titers and buffer solutions for pH reproduction and other unique metrological equipment. The customers of the metrological equipment of the State Scientific Center of VNIIFTRI are regional centers of standardization and metrology, metrological service sectors and agencies, thousands of scientific enterprises and industrial companies from almost all regions of the country.